Hi, it's Mitch from PickDogs.com, and it is Sunday, May 28th, 2023, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Got tons of handicappers for you today. Just Major League Baseball in action today after last night's thriller in Miami. Not so thrilling for me, but a thriller nonetheless. And then, of course, in hockey, the series was extended as well. First up, I believe it's check the list again here. And yep, so Big Al's going to go first. Al, how's it going?
Pretty good. I apologize, but my dog probably will start to bark pretty soon. So maybe we can do it fairly quick so he doesn't interrupt us.
Well, the dogs have been barking anyways across the board in sports this year. And boy, last night in Miami, what a thrilling game that was. Hate to be on the wrong side of it, but I have to say, as a fan that's been in a lot of, a fan of teams that have been in a lot of
did you have Miami plus the 2 to 3 points?
No, I didn't. I had the money line, and I laid the extended line, so I was dead.
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah.
I laid the 5.5 points, but I was dead anyway, so it didn't really matter in that effect. But as a fan, I've been fortunate in my life to be a fan of teams that have been in a lot of big games, and we've had a lot of great wins, a lot of bad losses, and I have to say that as far as bad losses go, that doesn't even rank, on my list of bad losses. It is a tough loss. It was one where the Heat played horribly in that game. It was a miracle that they even got to the lead, and just shows you how bad this Celtics team is. And I think, if they do make it against the Nuggets, which I don't think is a certainty by any stretch of the imagination, I would go for Nuggets sweep or 4-1 or something like that, because they have zero chance. Just for Jimmy Butler to score next to no points, and for him to really say, I played so badly. If I played just a drop better, we win this game. He admits it. Bam. Nothing going on from either of those guys. So I think they believe in themselves. They believe if they play a little bit better in the next game, they are going to get the win in Boston. It's not unprecedented that, 3-game leads have gone to 3-3, and then it's the team with the lead that's won every single time. Not that big of a deal. But like I said, I've taken a lot of big losses over the course as a fan. And this one, to me, it was one that wasn't a fun loss. Believe me, I've taken way worse losses as a fan than this one. And, I think when you get beat and your team plays poorly, I think there was a sequence in there where the Celtics got some free throws and there was a foul when the Heat had first gotten to the lead, in the fourth quarter. It was a little fishy, but overall, the Celtics deserve to win that game. There's nothing worse than being a fan of a team when the game is just stolen from you.
Right.
And it's like the Fiesta Bowl against Ohio State. That was just, it doesn't get any worse than that. To me, that's the worst loss I've ever had as a fan, because we won the game. It's like the loss at Notre Dame, where the ref thought it was 4th and goal when it was actually 4th and 1. We pick up the first down and they gave the ball to Notre Dame and we lost the game. And that was pre-instant replay. So that's like, these are the ones that really stick with me. It is a tough loss.
It's a tough loss, but at the end of the day, you just tip your cap to Derek White.
Yeah. Exactly. And you say, you know what? He made it, and that they beat us. They had the opportunity. And as Spoelstra said after the game, there's one spot that the ball could have bounced where we lose, and that's where it bounced. He goes, and that's going to happen. That's part of the game. And I think, a well-coached team and a good coach, obviously he wasn't happy with it. But I was wondering if you caught that Angels-Marlins game yesterday, and I wanted to replay something that happened during the game. And I don't know if you caught this. This happened in extra innings.
I did watch extra innings. Are you talking about the play at the plate where the catcher didn't?
No. Yes, but it wasn't that. It was what the umpire said. So I'm just queuing it up on my phone because I recorded it. All right, so here it is. Here's the replay from the game last night. Can you guys hear it? Now that went over the PA system last night during the game. No one said anything. It was like it never even happened. It was like the Marlins are challenging the play at the plate, and then the guy forgets to turn his mic on. He says, they got their heads up their ass.
Yeah,
I thought
and the Marlins were right.
I know. I got this on tape because, I was watching it on DirecTV, and I just rewound it, on the live broadcast. And, then I showed it because I was like, that's unbelievable. I'm like, this game is the last game of the night. It's Marlins Angels. Who cares? And, so I'm going to guess a lot of people didn't see that, but it was like, what? That was crazy. But anyways, what do you got going on today? They've got their heads up their asses.
Oh, gosh. Well, I was watching that game because I was on a 10-game win streak going into my play on the Angels, and that snapped my 10-game win streak yesterday.
Well, I think the Angels are in serious trouble. I think the Angels are in serious trouble. I think when Jorge Soler is the biggest home run hitter in the game, in a game that features Ohtani and Trout, I think it just shows you got your money in the wrong place.
Yeah.
It's not doing it right.
I'm going to look at a game today, Mitch. It's an early game, 11:35 a.m. Between the Dodgers and the Rays. I've got no idea why they're playing this early in the morning, but that's what they're doing. Gavin Stone's going to make his third start, for the Dodgers. They brought him up from Oklahoma City. They did win his first two starts, but it wasn't because of anything that Gavin Stone did. He got bombed for 4 earned runs in 4 innings versus Philly. LA won that game 10-6. Then he gave up 5 earned runs in 4 innings versus Atlanta, but the Dodgers won that ball game 8-6. So I like Tampa here. I can't trust Gavin Stone yet. The Rays are 57-22 at home in the daytime, plus 26.1 net games. They're also 23-5 at home versus National League teams, plus 16.7 net games. Meanwhile, I've talked about it on the drive-through before. The Dodgers are just not very good as underdogs. Going back 76 games, in their last 76 as a dog of plus 150 or less, they're 28-48, minus 15.9 net games. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay. It's going to be a bullpen game. Josh Fleming will get the start, and we'll roll with the Tampa Bay Rays here.
Got to remember, this is also an early start on this game. The Rays this has been a pretty good series, surprisingly so. A little bit of back and forth going on, and these are two teams that if they played in the World Series against each other, it wouldn't be that huge of a surprise, though the Dodgers really not expected to see much this year. Stone, the Dodgers have been pretty quiet with this guy. It's like when they first brought him up, was he going to be staying? Is he going to be going? What's going to happen? Now we started to see him a few times, and he really is not very good. The Dodgers generally have a good pipeline, into the majors of young pitching, and they usually use that to trade for big name players at some point. You think they've traded away one too many?
I mean, I think I read he's
type things.
Yeah, I mean, I think I read he's the 4th best prospect in their system.
Oh man, if he's the 4th best prospect in the system, that just tells you the direction of the Dodgers system right now. Probably some bigger problems.
Yeah. But I've posted, an NBA totals play for the Game 7 tomorrow. That's up at Pick Dogs right now. Currently on an 18-5 NBA run, or 17-5-1, depending on one's numbers. So I've got that posted, and good luck to your Heat tomorrow.
For those of you who are buying premium picks and who that is your sort of thing, just remember that, not just remember, but today we have a little bit of a tech issue behind the scenes. So some of the cappers a little bit late entering picks. We have some workarounds. They're not perfect. So everyone doing their part just to make sure that everybody gets their picks. But one way or another, if you want premium picks, we'll have them for you. All the cappers will. And if you have a longer term package for a capper and you're waiting for the picks, and they generally enter them in a little earlier, that's the problem. It's across the board. If you get late in the game and you don't see any picks, use the chat box on the website, and someone will help you. Anyways, Al, thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
as
Mitch.
always.
Okay.
McMordie gave out the Celtics on the money line on the show yesterday. Chris, how's it going?
You're doing all right. Yeah, great game yesterday. Unfortunately, I was on the wrong side of the money line there too. But like I said, Game 7, two most exciting words in sports. Depending on how you look at it, they also might be the two most frustrating words in sports as well.
Well, I think, when you look at the Celtics and, under 500 at home for the playoffs, I think it's promising, for the Heat, going in, and far from a foregone conclusion that the Celtics are going to win this game. So, obviously you would have rather put them away. You had the opportunity in Game 6 playing your worst game, one of your worst games of the entire playoffs, and still had a chance to win. I think it just goes to show you if the Heat play a little bit better, they should be able to get it done. But anyways, the hockey also continuing on last night, extending out Dallas Stars. Jay, Wild's homer picks actually work out for him.
Yeah, for now. We'll see. We still got Game 6 to try to get through. But it looked like Vegas is going to close it out in Game 5. They were up a couple times, and Dallas stormed back. I thought Vegas was going to retake the lead late in the third, but two quick goals from Dallas put things to bed, and said now we head back to Dallas. So for Game 6, but still got some hope for the Golden Knights. Statistically, they were better on the road this season, so I'll have to see if that ends up panning out.
Well, what do you got going on today?
Yeah, today I'm going to look at this matchup between the Blue Jays and the Twins, and I'm going to roll with the over here. To be honest, I just don't trust this pitching matchup. I know Jose Barrios in his last 4 starts has given up 2 runs or less in each. 2 earned runs or less in each. But this is still a Blue Jays pitcher with a 5.60 road ERA this season. In his career since being traded from Minnesota when he's faced his former team, 2-1 record, but a 5.01 ERA. Last time out is arguably his worst start against the Twins. Gave up 5 runs over 3 2/3 back in August of last season. I do think he's going to have some trouble with this Twins lineup as well. But Bailey Ober, while Ober started the season well, he gave up 4 runs over 5 innings in his last start, arguably his worst start of the year as well. And in his career against the Blue Jays, 2 starts, he got a 4.82 ERA. These are 2 pitchers that have been getting hit a little bit lately, and also two batting orders 1 through 9 that are hitting in the top 3 in team OPS against right-handed pitching over the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to roll with the over between the Blue Jays and the Twins. I think we've got a high-scoring game. I think this one could easily get into that 6-5 kind of range by the later innings. So give me the over, Blue Jays, Twins.
Yeah, this has been a pretty interesting series. I thought yesterday Bassett, kind of just everything going wrong for him that possibly could. The ball hit off of the outfielder's mitt and went over the fence, and a ball that if the outfielder misses it completely, it hits the wall. There's no way it clears the fence on that. It was basically, it was like White's shot in the Celtics game, but it was the ball being pushed over the fence by the center fielder in that one. I think it's been a pretty good series, though. These are 2 teams that are thinking postseason. I'm not sure if the Twins get there, and to be honest, I'm not sure if the Jays get there either. But I could see it happening here. I think that we saw Vladdy Guerrero leave the runner in scoring position yesterday. Really, devastating for the Jays in that game. So
Yeah,
we'll have to see.
I was going to say that's been the case for them this season, leaving runners in scoring position left.
I think we've seen that with a lot of big bats this year. So will be interesting to see how it all plays out. But anyways, what are you selling today at Pick Dogs?
At Pick Dogs today, I got my MLB pick-off play. I'm back on the board off another winning day in MLB yesterday. Also got 5-pack of MLB, that $19 play included in the 5-pack for $49.99 as well. And definitely long-term best way to go, especially with the playoff action still going on as well in NBA and NHL.
All right, Chris. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow for our Memorial Day version of our show, which is basically the same shit that we just delivered.
we just put a couple of flags in the corner.
It's like one thing. The only certain thing about our morning show or weekly morning shows, we know we're gonna have 3 viewers.
push for 4. We might
Yeah.
push for a 4th.
Looking for that 4th. And as well, I'm not going to go to the not going to go to the 5th. Anyways, we'll see everybody. We'll see you later. Chris Ruffolo there. Let me see who's next in the order here. People generally will say, I want to go next or not next. Anyone? El Ninos raising his hand. Is that what happened there? Okay. El Ninos, what's happening?
Yeah, I don't think anyone else claimed this spot, so yeah, I'll take it.
All right. Well, the spot is claimed. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Coming off, was at the Tropicana field yesterday. Took my son out there to watch the Dodgers, so that was nice. Been a while since I saw the Dodgers up close, so that was real nice. Yeah, and it was a fun game too. A lot of back and forth.
Kershaw, right?
Yeah, it was Kershaw.
Did you wear your Kershaw shirt? And,
no, my son had a new version of it. And
did you try and get a hug from Kershaw?
Well, yeah, real quick, but that didn't last too long. But
maybe a little something else.
no, hugs enough. but yeah, it was a real exciting game, and yeah, the Rays didn't go down easy. They were threatening there at the end, so it was a real fun one at the end, and throughout, really a very entertaining game. But yeah, back to today. Much tougher matchup for the Dodgers today, by the way. So not really going against Big Al today on that Rays pick there.
Well, what do you got going on today for us?
Looking at another team that likes to think they're an LA team, but really they're still in Anaheim. And think it's been a pretty rough series for them so far, the Angels. But I think they managed to salvage a win here and salvage a win in the series and avoid getting swept. Pretty tough pitching matchup too. Perez, coming in really highly ranked and showed some good stuff early, and then had that rough start in Colorado. Again, you mentioned the lineups earlier quickly with Big Al. Well, your boy Jorge Soler 0-2 against Patrick Sandoval with 2 strikeouts there, and Luis Arraez 0-2 as well. So, doing pretty well in small sample size, obviously, but if he could keep any of that up, I think he'll give his team a good chance to, again, avoid getting swept here and laying a pretty short price at home. I think we'll be backing the Angels today.
Well, it wouldn't be our live show if I didn't disagree with your pick. I was on the Marlins yesterday, and I think I'll be back on them again today. They kind of really delivered for me, and they've been delivering this series. The Marlins are an above 500 team. They are, they are a real baseball team this year, and we're a third of the way through the season. So it's not like, the first month of the season and they're out of town. We're a third of the way through. Baseball, it starts to cook like this very fast. Once it gets going, by the time the NBA playoffs are over, we'll be almost at the All-Star break, and the All-Star break we all know happens further on than halfway through the season. Before trade deadline and all that kind of good stuff. I think the Angels will be shipping Ohtani by then, by that trade deadline, trying to get as much as they can, because there's no use to pay a guy that much money, no matter how good he is, if you're not going to win now, and it's clear the Angels aren't going to win anytime soon. And, for Angel fans, probably not all that excited. I know, well, I guess they're probably not going to sleep tonight because they won't be able to hold back the excitement because Griffin Canning's getting the ball tomorrow for them. So I know that that always excites them in Anaheim. But what do you got for sale today, Al?
Yeah, I got just 2 plays actually in the MLB. I couldn't quite get there with a third today. I mentioned I like this matchup, but not as much as the other 2 I got up there. I got my Grand Slam, which is on a 4-1 run. If you want to check that out, if you want to get both plays individually, or grab a long-term 2-for-1 capper pass if you want to get all the action.
All right. Well, as always, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you during the week and next week.
All right. Have a good one, Mitch.
All right. That was Al Ninos. Up next, we got Eric. Eric is back after yesterday's filibuster on the show. Really, that was, people come on the show for the first time, but nobody decides to set up camp and stay overnight. But Eric, he was headed in that direction. How's it going, Eric?
Great. Unfortunately, lost yesterday's game, as the Orioles have now lost 2 in a row here on the YouTube channel and here on the live. But I did win my premium play yesterday, the Colorado Rockies plus 165. I'm going to attempt to post my other premium play, which will be a 4 o'clock game today. Hopefully we'll take care of those technical difficulties. As I've been trying to do it, I finally got logged in. But I want to give you some stats in today's complimentary selection. I'm rolling with Pittsburgh as my complimentary selection. Pittsburgh is profitable on the road. If you've played them every game on the road, they're plus $505 for the season, while Seattle is 27-25 and one of the worst home teams for your pocketbook this season. So I'm going to take 26-25 Pittsburgh with Ortiz plus the small 15 cents, and that's going to be your live complimentary selection. As always, you can head on over to the Premium Picks page, and as always, you can take advantage of the Dime Club. If you want to find out about the results, call the 800 number on the website. I'll be glad to go over everything with you. Was that quick enough for you, Mitch?
It was way quicker, and I know yesterday I actually saw that you received some fan mail. Welcome to Pick Dogs. It comes with it. The beauty of being at Pick Dogs is that you could be the hero one day and you could be the GOAT in the same day. And that happens at Pick Dogs all the time. Ron Romanelli will tell you, he'll go 12-3 and people will talk about how he needs to bounce back tomorrow. And then he can go, 7-8 and people will talk about the 6-game parlay that they hit. So, people, one thing we know about our Pick Dogs family, they're not happy unless they're unhappy about something. So that's just the way that it works. But we know we make more people happy than unhappy, but we know also.
Well, I felt it was my initiation. Look, after 35 years in this business, I've heard it all. I've seen it all. I started with hair and a black beard. Now I have no hair and a gray beard. So I enjoy it. You know what they say, man.
Well, I don't know if you've ever seen my first video, but I had a full head of hair in my video.
Wow.
And
well, you know what they say, man. As long as they talk about you, who cares?
Yeah, I'll have to show it to you. I show it to everybody when they start. But I have this sign right here on my wall in the studio, and I've had it there for quite some time, and it's something that I always believe in. But anyways, one more time, the Dime Club, been talking about it a little bit more this week and in my regular videos than regular. This is a product it's not for everybody. I mean, that's the first thing that I say. This is not like for everybody. Generally, I say at Pick Dogs, we have something for everybody. We have free picks. We have free pick videos. We have betting tools. We have, Sports Chat Place betting tools. We have free picks and Sports Chat Place. We have pretty much, we have $19 picks. We have the consensus report that's $19 for 3 days. We have all sorts of stuff. But we also have, packages that are more expensive. And the Dime Club is kind of that pinnacle package right now. It's our top end package. And that is late breaking information. And it's for people with larger bankrolls. So it's just a little bit different. You get the hand holding that some people want. Right. You get that extra level of customer service. You have a phone number you can call. You have all that sort of stuff, which is why you pay the extra money for generally the product that we sell in the premium area. And I play all my premium picks, I play them all, so it's a great product and, I totally stand behind it, but, anyways.
Well, like I said, I'm happy to be on the platform. Again, Pittsburgh is the complimentary selection. I'm going to take them plus the 15 cents with Ortiz on the mound. For people that ask me, I always play listed pitchers. I never play action. I don't know about you, Mitch. If you're an action guy or you're a listed guy, I'm always a listed guy.
It depends on what mood I'm in and what I'm at with things. Yeah, I mean, I really am. I intend to play action. Like if I'm in Vegas, I'm playing action no matter what.
No matter
when I'm
what.
doing my regular betting, generally it's listed pitchers, but I've played action before. I mean, I
think I'm about 50-50 when they changed the pitcher. If I would have been action, I would have won versus lost. I kind of track it. I don't think it over the years, it's about 50-50.
As Chris and Rod will talk about often, we bet on simulated Madden football. So we pretty much all it doesn't get any lower than that. But anyways, Eric, thanks for joining us. And we'll see you on future shows, possibly on the drive-through during the week with Tony T or, next weekend as well.
All right, you got it. Have a good weekend. All
right, thank you. Next up, Jay Briggs. Jay, you're on a Celtics 3-game winning streak here over my Heat. If you laid the points, you were dead, though. And the thing is that, like I said earlier in the show, as a Miami fan, it ranks probably about 20th on all-time losses, if even there. I have to say that there's so many other losses that we lost on bad calls and, cheap officiating, things like that. When you get beat, and it sucks, but it's like when you lose on a bad call, that's the worst, and it's like, I'd way rather lose like that. And, we could take the tack that I did with Miami in college basketball, where we say, hey, we made the Final Four, nobody had us there, and in this one, we were an 8 seed. That's 1 win away from the NBA Finals. It's like, nobody had us here, but I think in this one, we kind of won it a little bit more than it's not like going to the Final Four. In the NBA, it's either, even second place sucks, even second place sucks. So, it was a great game. They beat us, and, we hope we get them next game.
Man, what a series. That's all I got to say. And I know you're holding out hope, but it's over.
Yeah, it is over. Miami's going to take it home in the next game. There only is one more game, so it has to be over. There's no other way for it to be. I think that
Mitch.
Hey,
Mitch. It's over.
Yeah, I know it is, because there's only one more game left, so it's going to be over, and it's going to be the Heat taking it home. So, I think no problem in this one. We saw Jason Tatum do the disappearing act again last night in the fourth quarter. We saw the Celtics choke away the giant lead with the Heat playing as bad as they could possibly play. I mean, even when they had the chance to tie it, they couldn't even hit the wide openest of lazy-ass defense, wide open threes in the history of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. And they still got to the lead. That's how freaking terrible this Celtics team is. If this Celtics team makes it to the finals, chicken nuggets sweep, man. I mean, it's going to be an ugly.
When the Celtics make it to the finals, I think it's going to be a decent series, but I got Nuggets as well.
No, I think when the Heat against the Nuggets will probably be a pretty hard fought.
Either way you slice it, I got Nuggets in 6, but I think
the Nuggets do beat the Heat, though. I think they are a little bit better, and I think that the Heat are going to struggle with Joker. I think they're going to have problems there.
Nah, but slight preview for tomorrow's game. I might have to grab those points for the first time in the series. I think.
Oh my God, Jay, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's that's a lot of points, man. It is in a game 7. I like Boston to win it, but Miami, I don't know. Like, they're a tough team. They are. They have fought in every game. Hell, Boston was up 7 with 2 minutes to go in that game, or 9 with 2 minutes to go in that game, and they fought back. So I don't know. I got Boston winning it, but might be slightly too many points. I gotta dig a little deeper, and y'all know we'll drop the jam session in the morning.
All right. Well, what do you got for us today?
Today, man, we're going to talk about my team, the Rangers and the O's. Taking the over in this one, man. Think balls are coming out of the park today. So, Cody Bradford making his second start for my team today. I was actually in attendance for his first meeting this season against the Rockies. He did not look good, man. He got cranked. And I think he probably gets cranked in this one again. Or no, not against the Rockies. It was the Braves. I'm sorry. It was the Braves. The Braves cranked him. It was 12-0 was the final score in that game. He went 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, 6 of them earned, 2 homers. It was not a great game for my guy first inning. The O's, they have been struggling a little bit in this series, but, they've always been a team that likes to bounce back. I thought yesterday was going to be a good bounce back spot for him with Heaney on the mound. It wasn't, but I do think they get to Bradford today. On the other side, man, we know the Rangers, how hot their bats have been. I don't expect them to just fall off the planet today. All in all, I think the Rangers get to Bradish early. I think Bradford gives up about 4 or 5 on his own. And then we know you can't trust the Rangers bullpen. That is the one weakness for my team this season. We fixed that bullpen, and I think the argument can be had. We might be the best team in baseball right now. Second best record in the majors right now, the Rangers. Who saw that coming? I did. But today, I think it's an over type game. So I'm taking the over. Rangers, Orioles.
I could see this as well. I think the Orioles certainly not going to lay down, but all sorts of streaks busted up in this one with the Orioles having, those not losing off of a loss and all those things. But here's they still have the one alive where they haven't lost as favorites back to back. So 8 in a row on that. But I think this one's going to be a high scoring game. Both these teams are offense first and swing the bats. These guys aren't situationally bunting to move the runners around the team. Nah. Neither of these teams do. I always like the sacrifice bunt. I always thought it was effective playing baseball. I think some teams would have better records if they were willing to do it. But you don't see guys willing to do it because the contracts are tied in to offensive statistics, and sacrifice bunts aren't going to help those. And that's what it all has come down to these days.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it should be an over game. It should be a good game to watch too. 12 o'clock, 12:30 start time for me here. So over.
What do you got today for
I got two plays for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium. I got my $19 MLB play of the day. You can hop on that. So just 2 plays for me in Major League Baseball. Off to a great start this season. We've been positive units all season. So just trying to keep that rolling. Hop on that over at Pick Dogs Premium. And then y'all know NBA will be back tomorrow. So I have the jam session up for y'all guys tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like I got Eric, you, and Ron in the last 3. All of us that get crushed in the YouTube comments, and it's funny because it's the 1% of people, right? That do it. They're just cowards. I mean, there's nothing cool about being a coward. It's like in Mrs. Maisel said in the finale there. Nothing cool about being a coward except in the Wizard of Oz, man. Anyways.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
it takes guts to get up there and give out picks.
We got the trolls, but we love
it. I've been doing this for a long time, and 99.9% of the people respect it because they know it takes guts to get up there and to give out picks, and something that, getting 45% wrong is still seen as knocking it out of the park. And it's like you're up there doing something that you're going to get wrong, 40 to 45% of the time, and still being able to stand up there and take it. So, that's why, there's very few people on this side of it, and, trolls on that side, but those trolls are so lousy at it, they don't even last doing that.
Right.
Think at it. Anyways, Jay, we'll be seeing you soon. And of course, with NBA winding down, be on the lookout for a new feature from Jay Briggs that'll carry us around. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but it's going to be something. We're not just going to let him do nothing. Doesn't work. No vacations for Jay. Vacation has been canceled. All right, we'll see you. And I'll be thinking hard. I have tons of ideas as always.
For sure.
All right, we'll see you soon. Next up, Ron Romanelli. Ron, what's happening?
Hey, Mitch, how you doing? I'm dealing with some technical difficulties this week with my microphone, so hopefully the audio's not too shabby. But
sounds good.
Okay,
Sounds
got my
good.
new mixer in the mail coming tomorrow. I think in 2 days. So hopefully I don't have to buy another one of these Hiles. This is not even working right now. I'm using my Blue Yeti, but we get there nonetheless.
Huh? I wonder if it's the cord.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've been messing around with it. There was also like an echo when it was working, so I just got to play around with it today. Hopefully get it working.
Well, there's a lot of sound people out there that can help. I think Eric actually is sound too. He's a guitar guy. So I want to reach out to him. And also we have people in the comments that are big sound people. They've helped me throughout time when I've had sound issues. But I've got so many mics.
Nothing more frustrating than that, right?
Yeah. As we always find a solution, not the end of the world. And we always find a way. I think it's always about the content, not about the equipment. I think that's what makes us a little different. It's funny because I'm in a broadcasting group that we're, not of handicappers, but, people that just do it. And 90% of them are more about the gear than their actual shows, it's like, and then, that's why the marketplace for that group for gear is always really one of the better places to get gear, because they're always getting the best gear and then realize, oh man, I didn't need all this stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got a lot going on. Did you catch that Marlins Angels that remark from the umpire?
I thought that was funny.
I just did not.
Yeah.
It was like, what? And the announcers on TV didn't even address that it happened.
I know.
It went right
Just kind of
past
went
it.
right by everybody.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how many times those things are said off the mic.
I think a lot.
Yeah, I bet.
I think I would
little
say
worrisome.
a lot.
Yeah.
I would say a lot. Can't wait for Ron's picks for summer. Ron's summer picks. Is that his musical mixtape? Ron the mixtape. Summer music. Good vibrations would be the opener. Anyways, what do you got today for us here at Pick Dogs?
Yeah, I'm looking at that White Sox-Tigers game. These are really important games for the White Sox to win if they want to get back in that race. And you got your ace on the mound, Dylan Cease. Obviously it wasn't the best start to the season for him, but I thought he's been a lot better as of late. In his last 2 starts, both quality outings. His last 3 starts, quality outings against the Astros and the Guardians twice. We know it's never easy to face the same team twice, especially kind of a pesky lineup like the Guardians. And Cease was great in that game. He got the W for the White Sox 4-2. And now Eduardo Rodriguez on the other side, he's been pitching very well this season, especially at Comerica Park. However, last couple of games, not really in the best of form, and he hasn't really been able to pitch too deep into ball games. His pitch count getting up there early in starts. Both Tigers losses, 8-0 and 4-1. And the White Sox, last couple of years and in the month of May, very, very tough team to face as a left-handed starting pitcher. The White Sox hit lefties very, very well. They're a right-handed heavy lineup, a lot of right-handed batters in that lineup. So, with Rodriguez not really in the best of form, Cease definitely in much better form. I think the White Sox take this game. I think this is kind of a must-win situation for Chicago. These are the type of games. I know you're 10-19 on the road and 10 games under 500, but you're still, I think, only 6 games out of that division lead in the AL Central. You got to win these games. And I like the lineup that they're putting together. They just released it. You got Anderson, you got Eloy back, you got Luis Robert, some big right-handed bats at the start of that lineup. I think Rodriguez has some troubles here. So give me the Chicago White Sox on the money line.
Yeah, I like the White Sox. Actually, I'm a White Sox fan, and most people know that. But the thing is, I actually really like this White Sox team better than a lot of the White Sox teams that I've seen in recent years. And I actually like this White Sox team better than the White Sox team that we saw a month ago, where the bullpen was just imploding every single night. At least the guys are hitting. And I think when Robert is hitting, I think that this team is very, very dangerous. I think he's one of the best players in all of baseball. And, I think the world is going to find this out, that this guy is extremely dangerous. We see Aaron Judge as this giant guy out there, but I tell you what, Robert, I don't know what his measurements are. He's a pretty big guy himself, man. He seems to be able to pound it and run extremely fast, plays solid defense too. So I think, one of the better players in all of baseball. And I think he could be the guy that leads the White Sox. They're far from out of it here, and they have a gigantic bankroll as well. And they're never afraid to try some of these retread pitchers either and try and get more out of them. And they have mixed success with it, but, they've hit a few home runs in that area as well. I think one of the things that I talked about yesterday is that in my video was Eduardo Rodriguez it's in today's video, actually. So it's Eduardo Rodriguez here for the Tigers, and he's seen as kind of like my winner of the Jose Quintana trade deadline award, the guy that, the Tigers are probably going to be dealing at the trade deadline, see as much as they could possibly get and loot someone. And it's ironic that he's up against Cease here, because Cease was also involved in a Jose Quintana trade deadline deal with Eloy Jimenez, which just goes to show you what you can get for a guy like Rodriguez if you really manage this situation right. I really believe the Pirates are going to get, they're not going to get, Mike Trout or anything, but they're going to get top dollar for Rich Hill, if they continue to go. They're going to at the trade deadline or close to it. And I do believe that with Eduardo Rodriguez, that the Tigers might have this situation. If they can manage this guy just so, they might be able to get, I don't know if they're not going to get like a Castillo trade like last year. They're not going to get something like that, but they're going to get something. And it's going to be way more than what this guy's worth.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you ask the Tigers right now, they're saying we're not dealing anybody because they're only 2 games out of the division. But
well, that's what you want to say when you want to get top dollar for a
exactly.
guy like Rodriguez.
Exactly. We'll see, and by the trade deadline, what the record is. They've been much better than expectations. But if you see the Tigers go down 7+ games in that division, and doesn't look like things are doing great, I wouldn't be surprised to see him move a few guys. So
do we have any prospects on Casey Mize?
too.
Casey Mize returning?
I'm not sure, and that's another thing. Matt Manning too, very young, solid rotation, but they just had so many injuries that they have just not been able to take that next step. I'm gonna look at Casey Mize now, and Tarek Skubal. Can't forget him too.
Because Mize, when he was injured, he was really just rounding into form as one of the top pitchers.
Yeah,
I really think he was a former number 1 overall type guy. So,
yep.
Well, not type guy. He was a former number 1 overall.
Yeah,
Anyone
he had
else,
Tommy John surgery, so he'll be out for a while. But
they come back just like Glasnow was back yesterday for the
definitely
for the Rays, and I think we're going to see better from Glasnow than what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, but, definitely we will.
But anyways, any other teams you want to that you think are good values here, or any teams that it might be a sell? I mean, George Kirby getting knocked around a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, that was surprising for me. Especially at T-Mobile Park. You don't usually see that from him, but yeah.
All the very, very best pitchers in all of baseball will throw a clunker. It happens,
Yeah.
So we saw Sears.
He's had a few of those, yeah.
Well, it's not even his. It's basically his first full year in the majors. Mm-hmm. So, I think he's still considered a rookie.
Last year he pitched 130 innings. So,
well, what do you got going on at Pick Dogs? We know it hasn't been a merry month of May, but you're looking for a big June. And the thing that I always say about handicappers, and people always say, "Oh, this guy was so hot" and everything like that. I always say, I say handicappers are like athletes themselves. Play to the back of their baseball card. So if you could buy low, man, you are really, really sitting on one. I think Ron maybe overthinking some of these games and maybe giving a little bit too much credit to some of these shit ass pitchers. But anyways,
I wouldn't say that.
I would, but anyways, I said
it. No, I mean, I'm not going to say. I'm obviously it's not been a good month, but no, I don't change up my style. There's a lot of games where even you look at yesterday with the Cubs 4-1 lead early. Tyone pitched good enough for the Cubs to win it, but the bullpen blew the game. And a lot of these teams in the month of May for me just have not done well with runners in scoring position and a lot of blown leads. So that's the part of baseball. It's a long season. It's baseball is one of those games where there's such a fine line between success and failure when it comes to getting a base hit or getting out. And it's why, I look at a lot of these expected numbers, and I'm going to continue to handicap the same way. We had a great April. May has not been great, but, I do feel confident we're going to bounce back and continue. And I think in June is going to be a big month. So, yeah, I got my Ron's Rundown best bet on the website. Like to play today. I also have a total play for long-term subscribers that I really like as well. Could have been my best bet also. So 2 plays I really like today.
All right. Well, I think you're sitting on a heater personally. And, I think a lot of people have come out and they've said things like, we see it in the comments, oh, baseball's so hard and all this stuff. And it's like, betting on sports is hard. This is not an easy thing. There are no easy winners. There are no locks. There are none of those things. I mean, it doesn't happen. Like the Angels lost last night to the Marlins. They were minus 190 with Shohei Ohtani on them at home, and they lost. Yep. George Kirby got pounded at home. It's like there's no such thing. Justin Verlander got whooped by the Rockies.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, this is everybody in the major. I mean, of all sports, baseball. These guys, the contracts are ridiculous. I mean, that home run that Tatis hit on Friday off of Vasquez, I mean, I don't even think he really I think it looked like a check swing. It was like almost an upper deck shot. I mean, that's how good these guys are. So, yeah. I mean, everybody that you're playing on both sides, and I'm not a Tatis guy, but did you see that home run? I mean, right? Didn't it look like he barely even swung at the back?
I know.
It was like
the guys that make it look effortless, those are the best players,
I think
crazy.
I think for Vasquez, that was kind of like your welcome to the major leagues pitch, where it's like you might be able to make that mistake in the minor leagues and get away with it some of the time, but against Tatis, you're going to get away with it
And that
less
caught
than
way too much of the
0%,
plate.
less than 0% of the time. I mean, that was
It almost cut back in, but it just caught too much of the plate. So he deposited it to left field.
I mean, that thing was just crushed. I mean, it was like, I mean, that was a big shot. But anyways, Ron, thanks as always for joining us. Running it down, heading into before you know it, we'll be doing the college hoops. Bank shot
Breakdown.
Bank shot
I
breakdown.
like doing those.
Year 2. So a lot going on at Pick Dogs, and Ron doing a lot behind the scenes, working with a lot of our other guys doing videos. And you can see we're doing more videos than ever. I'm also starting a new video series too. I'm going to be doing a lot of how to and just kind of the generic videos that the other channels do. Less the fake name handicappers. Thanks everyone for joining us. Make it a winning day. It's just baseball today. Something we're going to get. Oh wait, Millz is here. Oh, hold on a second. I'll see you, Ron. We're getting ready.
Good luck,
Millz,
everybody.
Millz, how's it going? Did not see you.
Oh man, how's it going? How's everybody doing today on this Sunday blessed day?
Well, we're all hanging in there, man. What's the good word?
Oh man, just looking at one of the baseball games going on later on tonight. Got to play on the run line.
All right, which game we looking at?
We're gonna be looking at the Atlanta Braves taking on the Philadelphia Phillies right now. I'm gonna be taking the Atlanta Braves in this one. They have one of the best lineups in baseball total. Third in the NL right now. I think they're scoring at a rate of 4.5 runs per game. 31 wins on the year. This is what it is. Spencer Strider's on the mound. He's a guy who has 4 wins, 2 losses, 2.4 ERA, over 96 Ks on the year. Yes, number 1 when it comes down to it. But the Braves right now, they're facing elimination series. The Phillies are trying to eliminate them right here. And I don't think it's going to be able to happen. The guy that they got on the mound just isn't good. He has a big ERA, over 6.3 ERA on the year. So I'm going to be taking the Braves on the run line on this game. I just had to do a little bit of adjustments and add it onto my plate after I got acclimated to it this morning.
All right. Well, I'm on the other side of this one. I'm taking the Phillies on the run line. I would never lay those kind of odds with the Braves. And we saw Strider get absolutely undressed last time he was on the mound. We cashed big at big price like this. I don't understand how Spencer Strider is a minus 250, 260 pitcher against, and I'm not even a Phillies guy, but I mean, the Phillies won yesterday with Zach Wheeler on the mound. Anything is possible, man. That guy is absolute stiff. So I think the Braves are just in trouble here. I just don't understand how you could lay this kind of price with the Atlanta Braves and with Strider, especially after last time when he let the Braves and their backers down in such a big way.
No, if you take the run line on it, that box down all that juice right there. I would never take him on the money line right now at that price. But yeah, definitely, I think they're going to be able to cover that 1.5 on here. It's just one of those things to where the guy on the other mound though, he's not it. I could see if we were facing Wheeler like that was on the mound the other day or Nola, but this is not their best pitcher at all for the Phillies on there. And I get it. Spencer Strider sometimes is a lot overpriced. He's that hot item right now. He's like Corbin Burns was last year. He's kind of like Shane Bieber was last year. Whenever his name's on there, he's going to get overpriced. So you got to figure out ways to attack it, a better game and way to attack it too. What do you think about his case, Mitch? Do you like him over 8.5 today?
I think that's probably the safer bet because I think the Phillies, these are guys that are going to take their cuts, and we know that. But to me, minus 250, I'm on the other team. Everyone knows that.
And I will say you did win last time on that one too. You did have you was on the opposite side of Spencer Strider last time is out, and you definitely cleaned up in that one. I will say the safest bet on here would be Spencer Strider over 8.5 Ks. Didn't want to come on here and just give out a player prop, so that's why I had to include a team into it with it. But yeah, definitely though, I like the Braves in this one, man. I'm gonna go ahead and lay the run line on here, and I think they should definitely be able to get this game.
All right, Mills. Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks everybody for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. Of course, if you missed any of this, you could always watch the replay here on YouTube, or of course, listen to us iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, wherever podcasts are found. I only like talking on podcasts. I don't like to listen to them. Have a great day, everyone. We appreciate all of you. Check out our premium picks at Pick Dogs. Use that discount code PICK. Get 15%